Hi, my loves. It's Jeray Malay, girl from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with some commentary about your girl, Keke Palmer. Now, I am very, very hesitant to speak out on a Black woman, especially someone like a Keke, but golly, man. Oh my God. Golly, we have to have the conversation. And so here we are. All right. Before I get started, make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Girl, get me back out into the algorithm, okay? I said close the doors. Close the doors. Make sure you like this video, okay? Um, and subscribe if you like this type of commentary. We talk about popular topics, cultural commentary in a way that helps us reshape and reframe our paradigms so we can live the life that we deserve. Now, Keke is someone who we all love and adore, but I mean, it's not much we can say, right? She did the whole thing with her baby daddy, which, everybody got a story about the baby daddy, right? I'm not gonna get into too much of that. Now she shelved the interview with old buddy, with Megan Good. That was cool. Then she had Migos. I'm like, all right, girl, this is enough. But finally, I feel confident enough to just come out and have the conversation because Keke, she just continues to do the things that I feel like need to be discussed. Right now, I want to say this right here and right now. I'm not trying to be divisive. I am not trying to be or disparage anybody's artwork. And we'll get into that later in the video. But I want to just say I'm coming from a place of love and just hear me out when I say this. Is now the time. Is now the time. You get what I'm saying? If you don't know, Keke Palmer was recently under fire because she came out executive producer of a TV show. I think it's a web series called Southern Fried Rice that's starring a Asian woman who attends an HBCU. Now, before you get into, whatever you want to get into, this show is written by a Black woman herself. And I did a little social media digging, and she is, in fact, like a Black girl. Like, she's a Black girl, regular, degular Black girl, like, looks regular young girl at that. And everybody is just kind of upset because Keke Palmer has been a little tone deaf recently, especially with the guests that she's been having on her podcast, the softball questions that she was giving Quavo, and everything like this. So Keke came out in defense of this project, basically saying, like, girl, the girl has got to work. All right. KeyTV is, I'm assuming, a streaming platform, or maybe it's just a web series. It's behind a paywall. Okay. It's behind a paywall, and they are developing a lot of Black projects. I want to say like Tubi, but it's not on like smart TVs. But, hey, KeyTV, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? This is nothing to do with y'all, okay? Because we got to be very clear here. This is about the political landscape, the time that we're in, and what is actually reading. Like, I feel like people are not reading the room, Keke Palmer included, okay? So I watched the trailer, which I would play here, but I don't know how them people play over there, so I won't play it. But it was cringy. It was cringy. I'll leave it linked in the description if you're interested in watching it. But it was a little cringy. Basically, she's like, yes, I'm an Asian girl. Yes, I was raised by a black family. Apparently, she was adopted. And yes, I'm going to an HBCU. And it's like, okay, girl. And we love a good coming of age story. We love a good HBCU moment. But why is this centered around an Asian person? You get what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to have her at the center of this? Especially when, if you're going to an HBCU, a historically Black college or university, why have the main character an Asian woman, right? Now, a lot of people were kind of divided in the comments saying that there are a lot of Asian people who attend HBCUs and they get the scholarships and they are included, and those experiences are, they deserve to be told, which I agree. I think that everybody's story deserves to be told. But however, why are we the ones to have to do it? Okay. Now, the girl who's playing the main character, I don't know who she is. She's supposed to be playing some college student girl. She looks old to me, honestly and truly. I don't even want to get into all of that, but it's not believable. I want to get into what Keke had to say about the project first, and then I'll circle back with my commentary.
Hey, you guys, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I wanted to chop it up real quick about this series called Southern Fried Rice that's premiering on KeyTV. That is receiving some controversial feedback. Now, Southern Fried Rice was created by Nakia Stephens, and while I can't speak to her inspiration for the show, I can speak to her dedication as a creative. I mean, Nakia has written, show ran, and produced 4 shows alongside her Damn Right Originals team with KeyTV. And KeyTV has proudly invested over $500,000 on her creations. And I say that because it's not easy to obtain that kind of investment. And KeyTV, this is the ethos of the company. It's a network not just because it has stars and shows or has talent, but because it's about the people who create the shows and connecting them. I mean, we have Alex King, a black queer creator that made the short film Keep Me in Mind. We have Antoine Lachey, who created the horror story Blue Forest. We have Cousin M, by a father and son duo, Rosero and Eric McCoy. Chelsea Sanders, who created Make It Make Sense and Unlabeled by Lawrence Murray. Chelsea also did Dear Kiki. Look, what you like is subjective, but the support of black creatives is not. And it's a task that KeyTV takes on with pride, because if you want to be a creative, you have to be able to create. And that takes money. And it's KeyTV's mission to find the funds for you to be in practice, for you to experience trial and error, and to take your projects off the page and get more than one chance to do it in action. So whether you like it all or some or none, I say give these creatives a chance to grow as we continue to grow in supporting them. So God bless you guys. And like I said, Nakia has Southern Fried Rice that's coming out most recently, but she has Nepotista, Ho and Tails, and Psychology of Fuckboys. That's also some great stuff for you to check out. Take care. Thanks for listening. Holla at your girl.
Keke said she following the money, girl. Keke said she don't care about you Negroes. I don't care about you blacks complaining. I'm going where the money's going. Okay, follow the money train. She's on the last train, like Diddy and Dawn Richardson, baby. She said, "I care about the black creators and the stories, and give us a chance." And I think that that's fair, right? Like, it's not lost on me that there are not a lot of opportunities for black people in Hollywood. You get what I'm saying? And so we have to create that. This is why, if you've been around, I was talking about Cameron and Dame Dash and the whole legacy of Rockefeller, and why I respect that era so much is because they didn't want to give them no play. They made a lane for themselves, and they pioneered that, right? I think there's no different from what we're doing today. We see a lot of content creators getting opportunities, black creatives get more opportunities, and there is room for, us to have those stories and have those spaces. So, it's newer, but I just think that the fact that we're not in the Hollywood space and we're still having to have someone else who is non-black being centered in the story is where the people don't really fuck with it. You feel what I'm saying? Because if we're going to tell a story, let's tell a story. But I don't want to see no Asian girl, being at the HBCU, being chose by the black man, getting chosen, and the black girls all around her playing Aunt Mama and patching her up and making her feel good. I mean, like, don't you think we get enough of that in Hollywood and on a streaming service where they are, putting up their own funds? Because I watched the creator, I think her name is, I want to butcher. But again, young black girl, nice gowns, beautiful gowns. And basically she said, girl, I went to Savannah State and, one of the first or the oldest historically black colleges. And I remember seeing, Asian people that, at the college. And that was one of my most like interesting moments. And I followed that, how they navigated those black spaces. But the whole thing is, and the whole gag is, like, let the Asian people say that. You don't think Asian people should tell their own stories? You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you were a black woman, surely you can talk about something that you understand from your own lens. Why even put an Asian person as the center of your story, and then you be the one to tell it? Like, if a HBCU or an Asian person go in there, don't you think they should tell that story? That's because some Asian people halfway don't even want to be involved with black people. Okay, somebody tap on me, tap my shoulder if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, the idea that, oh well, I need to be the one to tell this story and this, that, and the third, like, that's their story to tell, girl. You didn't raise $500,000 to go ahead and tell a story about the Asian girl going to the HBCU. And here's the thing, KeyTV, from what it sounds like, does a whole bunch, or produces a whole bunch of, and greenlights a whole bunch of black stories. So I'm imagining the target audience is black people. Okay, so we want to hear black stories. If your audience is black people, give the people what they want. What world do we want to see? The Asian experience at the HBCU. Maybe an Asian person would want to see that, but that's not on I want to engage in some TV today. I want to see this girl. Like, that's not really kind of what the people are feeling like, at least not in this climate. Again, a lot of other, minority groups, they want nothing to do with black people. And if y'all giving it up like, the psychology of a fuck nigga and y'all putting out all these black shows, then make it make sense. You understand what I'm saying? It's given like y'all are pandering to the and honestly, I think that there's a whole bunch of internalized anti-blackness that happens in regular lives in Hollywood or C class, B class, however y'all want to put it. And I really feel like they are missing the mark. Now, I want to get into what the actual creator has to say. Again, she is a young black girl. I'm going to always go up for the creatives. And again, I'm not trying to disparage. I'm just putting a voice to the things that I'm hearing what the people were saying. Don't nobody want to see that story. And she frying the chicken and she got the boyfriend. And I don't want to see that shit. Okay? I'm sorry. I want to know what y'all think. We're going to get into this young lady. Nice gowns, beautiful gowns, black creative girl. So let's keep it cute. But I want y'all to hear what she had to say because I think context really matters.
Or watching the Southern Fried Rice trailer, I'm seeing the comments, I'm seeing the support, I'm seeing the discourse. And as a storyteller, I welcome it. I welcome conversation. I welcome curiosity. And for those of you who've been following me and supporting my journey, y'all know that Southern Fried Rice is 10 plus years in the making. And, it was inspired by my own HBCU experience and observations as a student at Savannah State University, the first public HBCU in Georgia. But no, I had friends at Savannah State University and people in my orbit who were non-black and had to navigate a historically black space. And I saw how hard and challenging and fun and beautiful it was for them to do so. And that sparked my curiosity. And honestly,
Okay, sister is going up. She's like, I don't care about you niggers. I care about my story that I've been working on for 10 plus years. And it just is what it is. I think that there is some truth in what she's saying. Two things can be true at once, right? I think that it is an interesting concept. I would have liked to see maybe something like this with a black lead since it's on a black network, you know what I mean? And we're on an HBCU. I mean, the idea that there is this woman who is Asian and adopted by a black family is just doesn't even make sense to me. One, because we know that, Asian people or Asian children get adopted, I think at a 90% rate the last time I looked at it. White people make up a large portion of families who are eligible to adopt. Black families, of course, are even a smaller portion of that, right? So the idea that black people are just adopting a whole bunch of Asian children, I mean, it just seems like a reach to me. It really does. It seems like a reach to me. Um, and I just feel like it just seems a little lazy. It just seems lazy to me. It just seems like not that creative. Everyone's so creative. Like she could have went in so many different directions. But I also too think that it's the time that we're in. Now, I believe that people like there's a time and a place for certain things, especially when it comes to art. Like there's a time for things to come out. You know what I mean? And I think we live in this popcorn society where everybody's just trying to push out content. Everybody's looking for the next dopamine hit, the next reel, the next TikTok. And so she just put it out because she had the funding and it's time. But maybe, who knows if she would have sat on it and there was some more diversity or just more unification of the communities, and then now it comes out and then it's like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Think about when like Fresh Off the Boat came out or something like this. Like when you're dealing with arts that kind of have like a political undertone, the time frame that you are releasing this really makes sense. And I think that there was a time when, if you're making a whole bunch of content, like everybody's like push it out, push it out, push it out, but it has to be at the right time, like almost like when the girlies are timing their album release. You have to do it in a strategic way. I think again, two things can be true at once. Maybe it is a good show, it is a good piece of content or whatever, but right now the people ain't checking for it. If you right place, wrong time kind of thing. And it's unfortunate because again, she seems like she's a great person. I looked at her profile. She seems like a young black girl. She's out here getting it. And maybe I will get into it. Let me know if you would be interested in seeing a review or something like this. I Definitely am interested if you guys are KeyTV. How y'all doing? How we living and live in color? Okay. But to her point, I think that art is supposed to provoke a conversation and bring forth discourse and get it going. Like if the girlies are going and talking about it. Let's get into some of the comments that I saw that I really felt like, this is interesting. So one user says, mind you, it was Asians who sued for affirmative action and how it wasn't fair, effectively ending something that has been one of the only policies that has made it even slightly fair in helping the disenfranchised get into a decent college. Now, I don't know how true that is, but if that's the truth, girl, sister is cooking with that. You get what I'm saying? Sister is definitely cooking. It's something to think about. We know that Asians have historically not voted with black people in mind. They are not more of like an ally. They are the token immigrant, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if that were to be the case. Let's get into girl Leah. She says, girl, this is really my last straw. I can't keep defending you. And that's kind of like how I feel. Like I'm not defending anyone. I just wanted to kind of bring this to the channel because girl, what? Now, what I will say is in my little research, okay, I came across this comment that said that everyone please go support Imani Nia Robinson. She has a pilot on YouTube for her show, Three Blind Mice. It's the show we're looking for. Yo, when I tell y'all, I went to go check this out. When I tell y'all, run to her YouTube channel. I will also have that link. This show, the first 3 minutes, I'm into it. The first 3 minutes, I'm hooked. And if you're looking for the HBCU experience and how, people from different cultures kind of come into a place, she is a obviously like black girl who was adopted by a white family and she's going to a school in Baltimore. Girl, 10 minutes into it, I'm hooked. Nia, baby, you're doing your biggest one, y'all. Now that's a show I'm gonna review. That's a show I'm gonna watch and tell my girlfriends, like, girl, this is what I want to see. You feel what I'm saying? Like she did her real big one on that. Three Blind Mice, y'all. Go look that up. On YouTube for the free. It's not, I don't think she got picked up yet. Hopefully she does, because that's the story. Those are the things that we want to see, right? Um, but I do think it's important. And my homegirl mentioned, like, well, people are products of their environments and people want to see those kind of things, which I think is true. I think it's fair that art is supposed to imitate and reflect real life. If the girl grew up around a whole bunch of black people and was adopted, surely. But like, do we need a whole web series on that? Do we need a whole web series? You see how lovely Mimi was integrated as a cast member on Love and Hip Hop and not the focal point? You get what I'm saying? Like it needs to be a balance when it comes to those kind of things. And also, too, very quickly, if you're here, girl, sister, hey, make sure you like the video. I'm going to put a quick snippet of the video, the unfiltered version of this. I posted on Patreon, girl. If you really want to get into the truth tea, I'll post a little quick little moment here. Hello? Is anybody fucking listening? I don't understand. I don't understand that. That just don't even make sense to me. And I get it. I watched the video that the young lady had put out, and she basically said this was a 10-year project. And she's here. This is her script. Scripts take a long time to work on. They take a really long time to work on. Shop them around. Sometimes they get hit, sometimes they don't. You think about something like Squid Games, right? Squid Games was a script that was around, he said, for 20 damn years. You know what I'm saying? So you have the opportunity to make that shit. I'm making my movie. I get it. I dig it. But it's just like, in the words of Toni Morrison, I'm not interested. I don't even think about writing about white people in this way. Why do we have this Asian woman being centered in a college campus, a HBCU at that? Like there are so many stories that you can talk about that comes out of an HBCU that you decide to give an Asian woman a platform. And Keke, she just following the money train because she taking care of big mama, big uncle, her baby daddy, the baby. You the grandmama's the baby. You feel what I'm saying? So so if you're interested in a more raw, unfiltered, uncut type of style of video, or just really me, girl, because that's how I be giving it up. I just really kind of censor myself on YouTube. Make sure you click the link in the bio and join me over on Patreon where we will get into the things. Now, back to Miss Southern Fried Rice, girl. I watched the trailer, unimpressed. Keke following the money. And the black creators are being black creators, and we have historically have always told people stories, but right now I just feel like we's tired. We don't want to be telling everybody else's story but our own. We don't want to be in community with anybody who don't want to be in community with us. I'm not saying that all Asian people, I don't never would say all Asian people, okay? But we know that, what was that girl named Aquafina? She came out for her little black saying people was not fucking with her. She was being real funny. We know that we black people get love all around the world from all different races, especially, Koreans and Japanese and everything like this when it comes to the hip hop scene, the hippity hoppity and the dance community, they all show love. But when we're talking about real life, real facts, I don't know. Maybe it's missing the mark. I will definitely be checking out Three Blind Mice, and I may watch this just to kind of see what it's actually giving. I want to know what you think about this. Drop down in the comments. Let me know if you were interested in watching this show. How do you feel about Kiki and her kind of missing the mark these last couple of months, girl? And would you be interested in watching it or watching the reviews at the minimum? Let me know what you think. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light. And hopefully I'll see you inside of the Patreon. If not, I will see you in the next video. Peace.